What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about something a little bit different. Let's talk about APE, the preferred equity for AMC. Whenever it first came out, I did have a little bit of an opinion on it, and we'll talk about that and maybe my refinements on my thinking and where we go from here. I think it's at an interesting point, and just wanted to touch base with everybody because I think maybe the bottom is in and it might be turning around. So I like to point out whenever I think things could turn. No guarantees, but as always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes only, so let's be entertained. All right, so talking about APE, I wasn't a big fan about how basically the spinoff or dividend or whatever you wanted to call it was being rolled out. I thought it was going to take a big hit, and I didn't have a whole lot of confidence and really a whole lot of desire to save AMC for a second time, especially not at shareholders' expenses. And, the more that I've been thinking about it, I think APE really does make a lot of sense. And I'll tell you guys why. Really, I think APE has to survive for AMC to survive. Now, I think APE is in a position where it probably can continue to survive or at least save AMC to a degree, regardless of what price point it really trades at, as long as we don't go below $1. I think the number that he threw out there, the $4.5 billion, is awfully close to the debt that wants to be paid off by AMC. Now, I'm sure that the does not have any desire to dilute it the full $4.5 billion, but there are those shares available that if it did get worst case scenario down to $1 or whatever, and at least there is enough still there in the reserves that he could do a pretty good amount of damage to any debt that was there. So I totally understand the hesitations behind wanting to hold or invest in Ape Coin, or not Coin, sorry. We've had Coin come out already, the preferred shares of AMC. But on the other hand, I think it has to happen. I think it has to survive, and I think it has to trade at a level where it's going to make AMC even stronger. And we know it's going to be diluted, so you're kind of throwing your money in to save AMC all over again, and you know it's going to be diluted, and you know you're going to get those rises whenever it happens, and then the long tail drawn out, float back down. And then it'll get diluted again. We'll see a little bit of action come back in, buying up, and then the long tail down. So it's probably going to be a little bit of a longer play. You might see a lot of hype around it whenever all that action's going in with the dilution and everything, and then tail off. So I don't think it's going to be a quick play, but we have been seeing some crazy cost to borrow averages thrown around, a lot of the numbers. I don't know why my Ortex is not showing the numbers that I'm seeing a lot of people talk about, but I was just looking at that to see what exactly was going on there. 100% utilization already, so I like to see that. 83.98 million shares on loan. This could be different from what you're seeing. I just refreshed. I'll refresh again just in case I missed something, but no, everything looks the same. So I'm not sure where exactly the numbers are coming from, maybe broker specifics. But let's get into the charts, and I'll show you what I'm kind of looking at. So obviously the open update took a pretty big hammer, had a nice little hype run, and from there it's just been falling. So I'm watching to see if this is actually the base down here at $4.72. That would be what I want to see hold. If it doesn't hold, then obviously it's going to come down some more. We've had a couple of different trend lines that we've been following, some sharper than others. So right now it looks like it is trying to make a little bit of a breakout finally from what we got going on here. I could draw this a little more accurate. I just threw it down, sorry. But I do think it's trying to make a little bit of a breakout. Maybe it wants to come down here, do a double bottom test at $4.72 roughly. I would keep an eye on it. It's if you do risk the 472, or if you're right around here thinking this is close enough, make sure you have a pretty good stop loss, because I don't know where it's going. There is no real data that we can use that's going to tell us where a true bottom or support's going to be around this point. Right now all we have is the lowest low that it's hit. So that's why I'm saying watch this, but don't get as upside down in this as maybe some of you are in AMC as well. but I do think it needs to survive, and I think it has a purpose, and I think the purpose is going to ultimately help AMC. And in the end, that's what we need, is AMC to be debt-free or as close to, or at least have good debt in a sense, so that they are moving in the right direction. Once the company's in a stable position with that debt off of their books and moving in the right direction, then logically the shorts are going to want to be out of that play. As of right now, AMC is probably a good short for them because nothing has changed yet. And whenever those fundamentals actually do change is whenever the shorts will decide that they probably want to eject out of AMC. So that's why APE is so important to survive, because that's what's going to be the lifeline for AMC. Did I say APE? That's why APE has to survive, in my thinking. And I could be wrong. I'm wrong sometimes, and probably more often than not. But I want to see if this is the turning point. Is it going to break out? Where are we going to go from here? So ultimately, coming back up 5.25 to $5.86 is going to be my next channel if we can break above 5.25. It's not too far from here, but watch that lower low down there at $4.72. So as of right now, I guess technically, if APE does a double, that's, I mean, better than having to wait for AMC to do a double. It's down here in a lower price range. We know that hopefully something's going to go on. The shorts are in. So will they be able to come back and, is this enough? They've basically went up double their money as of right now. So I could see some of them being like, well, that was a good enough run for now. Let it get a little bit of a relief. Let it run, cover some of those, and it'll bring our price back up. Will the hype, or will that gain attention or attraction and really start to make a rise? I'm not sure. It has quite a bit of effort that needs to go back into it, but just kind of watching it to see what happens. And basically, we're always looking for good entry points. I'm just going to see how it responds to this trend line, I guess, right here in after hours and pre-market, which could push us down to do a double bottom around $4.72 by morning, or it's going to use this level at $4.88 roughly as support and be able to push its way back up. So that's what I'm looking at. That's kind of where my thinking has went since my original video, because I was not thrilled about the whole APE dividend and funding it with their shareholders' money in a sense in doing this. But at this point, if I'm going to continue to hold AMC, then APE has to be a reality as well. And I just wanted to throw that information out. We're seeing the RSI overall. What's it doing? It's trying to claw its way back up. I mean, it's not doing a whole lot yet, which is why I think we might be early on in a possible bottom and a reversal. But we do just need to watch it. So like I said, always have a trading plan. Play with stop losses. This is not something that I'm going to tell anybody to diamond hand, all the way down to the gutter if that's what happens. And we got to realize that there are two scenarios to every story. So that's why I give you worst case and I give you best case to look at for what's happening in the immediate future. So keep an eye on $4.72, $4.88, 5.25. And from 5.25, I think it opens this up a little bit of runway back up to, I'd say, what is that, like $5.80. So not a whole lot has happened in there. We got a big wick down, big wick back up, and then it just kind of fell right through that channel. So I think it might want to take a little bit of time and possibly consolidate back up here above the 5.25 range. But no guarantees. As always, I try to look at the charts, but we don't have a whole lot of data, so I can't give you a whole lot of accuracy as far as what's going to actually go on. And with the overall markets, we want to see the overall markets kind of turn around, because I think that would have a little bit of a hand in what's going on here as well. And will that turn around? We just got to keep an eye on it. So thank you guys for coming back and watching another one. I don't talk about AMC or GME much because it is a trading channel and I just don't want people to associate it with that. But I thought APE, on the other hand, is something that probably several people are interested in because of the whole AMC thing, and therefore we should probably touch on APE and just try to make a little bit of a logical assessment as to how important it really is in regards to AMC's survival. And possibly, even so, there might be a pretty good entry point. So just play with those stop losses, guys. It's not worth watching it go red on you. You can always jump back in and support it at a new line whenever we see wherever that goes. Thank you. Appreciate you coming back. You can always feel free to subscribe to the channel or drop a comment if you wish. I will catch you guys in the next one. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.